Welcome to Multiverse. So we finally reached level 30 with our Batman character. And there's a question that I often see people ask is, what do you do once you reach level 30? Basically, this Universe Online is like two games into one. There's the first part of the game where you level up your character from level 1 to level 30. But once you reach level 30, the game becomes a little bit different. Instead of just following the main mission or the main quest in your journal, you actually have access to the on duty menu to gain access to even more quests. And also, once you reach level 30, what truly becomes your real level is your combat rating. Again, from level 1 to level 30, the game uses levels. Level 30 is the maximum level anyone can get, but after level 30, what truly counts is your combat rating. So let's continue with our little friend Batman. It'll make more sense if I show it to you as we play along. So of course our character reached level 30. Right now he's at combat rating 33. I will explain that in just a bit. Obviously he's a hero, mentored by a Batman, so mentor tech, powers gadget, weapon martial arts, and movement acrobatics. So let's continue. So last time we completed the mentored missions by our friend Batman. Basically, when you start DC Universe Online, you have to choose a mentor, depending on if you're an evil villain or a hero. If you're a hero, you have to choose between Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, the three that you see right here. And depending on which character you choose, there are a few missions that will be different. Not that much, but there's a couple of different missions, and also the order in which you do certain missions will be different. So once you complete the mentor missions with Batman, basically if we'll take a look. So right now it tells us that our main mission is to cure and complete the 8th Precinct Tier 1 solo. As I mentioned, once you reach level 30, then your true level is your combat rating, and also you have access to missions in the on-duty menu. So right now our character has access to Tier 1. Once you reach level 30, you become a Tier 1 character. So you have access to all the Tier 1 missions. Tier 1 solo, duos, 4 players, and so on. And you're going to gain access to Tier 2, I forget what the level is, once you reach combat rating 43. Then at combat rating 53, you're going to reach Tier 3, and so on. So as your character goes up in level, you will go up in tier, and you will gain access to more and more missions. And there's also the Death of Superman event that you have access to. Although I think we played a bit of it with this character, I think we played only the open world missions. So once you complete the main mission with your friend Batman, which we did last time, you gain a little box with a whole bunch of gear in it. So you can see that little box here, unattuned gearbox, recruit. So once you complete the missions with our friend Batman, we get this little box, so let's open it. And it gives us a whole bunch of gear. And it seems to be the new Genesis style, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the whole style seems to be new Genesis. And it gives us a weapon. So it pretty much gives us everything we need at level 30. So let's equip everything we have. So we get a utility belt. We already had one, but as you can see, the one we had was level 19, so not very useful. We get a trinket, so let's equip that. We get a new pair of boots. The new pair of boots is not as good as the one we have, but we don't have the style, so we're going to equip it just for the style. We already have the pants. So the belt is not as good as the one we have. We don't have the style for the gloves. As you can see, a lot of the gear I have right now is a bit better than the gear that Batman actually gave us. It happens. So let's equip our 2 new rings. So right now, all the gear that we seem to be getting is seems to be level 26 gear. So if I have some gear that is higher than level 26, I'm not going to use that new gear unless it can give us the style. Like right now we were able to complete the new Genesis style, so that alone makes it worth it. And you may remember at some point I had a little chest piece that wasn't attuned. Basically I got this little chest piece, which is an evolving breastplate box. I forget which mission I got it from. It says minimum item level 30, maximum item level 55. Basically what will happen is that it will scale up to the level of my character. So right now it gave us a item level 31 piece of gear. I usually go with the controller gear, because I usually try to play roles with, especially when I play with groups. And when I play DPS, it's basically when I play solo, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, we do have actually another chest piece, which is better. Oh well. So if we look at our combat rating, you can see our combat rating right now is 33. What decides your combat rating? It depends on what gear you have. It's pretty much that simple. So right now, most of our gear is level 27, 31, 26, 28, 34. So we got a few pieces of gear, and also you can see we got mail. Basically, once we finish the mission with our friend Batman, we should be getting our Justice League emblem from our friend. We're going to start by going to the tech wing. Basically, I could show you all the 3 wings, but since this is the tech character, I will show you the tech wing, but it's somewhat similar in all the wings. Eventually, I will make a video where I will show all the vendors. I showed the artifact vendor before, but just in case, if you ever need artifact or catalyst for your artifacts, this is the place to go to. So let's go to the tech wing. We're going to get our mail, and then we're going to take a look at which vendor you have to use first. So usually once you reach tier 1, there's one tier 1 vendor in each wing. There's a steel in this wing over here. There's I think it's Aquaman in the magic wing. And in the meta wing, it's Jagarg the Flash, if I'm not mistaken. So we got our nice Justice League emblem. So again, once we complete all our main mission, we do receive the Justice League emblem. We'll show it to you just a bit quickly. This is the emblem that I've used for a long time with a lot of characters. For a long time, we didn't have a Superman emblem, we didn't have a Batman emblem, we didn't have a Flash emblem. So there's a lot of characters that instead of sometimes I would use an approximation of some of the emblems. But very often, like for the Flash character, so here's our Justice League emblem. And usually for the Flash character, there is the leaf emblem that we could use to try to fake out the Flash emblem, but I didn't really like it. So for my Flash character, I would use this emblem. For my Superman character, I would use this emblem instead of using the House of L chest piece. So there's quite a few. I had quite a few characters that were using these emblems. So once you reach level 30, the very first thing I strongly suggest that you do before you go see your friend Steel in the tier 1 vendor, come see our other friend here, Dr. DeSanto. If you talk to Dr. DeSanto,
has been contracted to supply gear to our heroic allies. Take a look.
He sells a whole bunch of gear, which would be not too bad gear. The problem is that you need cooperative Renown with Wayne Tech. If you're wondering about the Renown, basically there's this little thing called Renown that you gain as you play missions. Like you can see right now, we're still neutral. We're at 720 up to 6500 for Wayne Tech. In the past, it would go up a bit faster when you leveled up because you had access to the bounties, like the Clayface bounties and the Solomon Grundy bounty, and I forget which other bounty actually gave you Renown. It gave you Renown either to Wayne Tech, Star Labs, and Sentinels of Magic. So you had more ways to be able to get Renown before level 30. Nowadays, sadly, by the time you reach level 30, you don't have the Renown. You don't have the Renown yet to be able to purchase the gear from Dr. DeSanto. So, but there's one thing that you can purchase. It's a utility belt. Like you can see here, you can purchase some Wayne Tech Commendation Renown for 5 source marks. Don't do that. It's a total waste. You're going to gain Renown as you play missions anyway, so you don't need to purchase that. So there's 2 utility belts that you can purchase. Right now you can see they're both 11 source marks. In the past, one would be a little more. The 54 one would be more expensive than the 44 one. Not sure why you would purchase the item level 44 when you have the item level 54. That is actually better. So we're going to go for that. Also, the item level 54 has 3 wildcard slots, as opposed to the other one that has only 2 wildcard slots. So let's take that belt. It should give a little boost to our combat rating right away. Again, the what decides your combat rating is the level of your gear. Here, this is an item level 54 gear, so it should give us quite a boost in our combat rating. I did not do that. Oh, I'm so sad now. I seem to recall it would give us a boost. I guess I was mistaken. Oh well. So, if you need to purchase gear from a vendor once you reach tier 1, you can come see your friend Steel right over here.
Only a 10-ton hero can handle this baby. Show me you're ready and we'll start your rig.
So you can see right now, as we reach level 30, we have 39 source marks already. You can see there's you can see the price of the gear that Steel is selling, and basically Steel is selling the Steel style, obviously. It doesn't really look like Steel, but it is quote-unquote inspired by Steel. It is something that DC Universe Online would do for quite a while, is that they would give us styles that did not really look like the characters that, in this case, doesn't really look like Steel. Like there's a Batman-inspired set of gear that doesn't really look like Batman, but it is inspired by Batman still. And here the style is inspired by Steel. I would be tempted to purchase the weapon. It would give quite a boost to our little weapon. But we're going to wait a bit. I don't really need that weapon just yet. And also there is another vendor that you can go to if you really want to. Like for example, here we have our friend Batgirl. As you can see, she sells a Batman inspired set of gear that looks nothing like Batman. But you can kind of tell it's supposed to be inspired by Batman. And there is some PvP gear. If for some reason you want to play PvP, there is the PvP vendor over here. I think you have to be level 30 before you can purchase that PvP gear. Yeah, it requires level 30. So once you reach level 30, you can also purchase some PvP gear if you do plan to play PvP. In order to be able to upgrade your PvP gear, doesn't matter what combat rating you are. Basically, here you have the 96 level PvP gear. There's no reason to purchase it unless you want to have the style. You can directly go and purchase the level 97 PvP gear. In order to be able to purchase then the level 98 PvP gear, you have to purchase the complete level 97 PvP gear before you can even purchase the level 98 PvP gear. Like basically, once you purchase the complete level 97 PvP gear, only then will you be able to see the 98 PvP gear in the vendor. And you have to purchase the entire set of gear, you have to purchase 2 rings, the neck piece, everything, and you have to purchase the weapon from our friend here. So our friend here is selling the PvP weapon. So in order to be able to purchase the PvP weapon, obviously you're going to need Marks of Valor. Where'd you get Marks of Valor? You get them by playing PvP. Marks of Valor is the currency that the PvP matches, whether Arena, Legends, and I'm probably forgetting something. There's a few. Basically, you have to play PvP in order to be able to gain the PvP currency. It's pretty much that simple. There is also another robot that you can look at if you're not sure. There's one such robot in every police station and every safe houses, and it turns out that there is also a little robot here. Here we have the mechanical supply officers. Now, some of you guys were telling me about it. I have to admit, I thought when you meant right next to Booster Gold, you meant over here, and I hadn't seen the little robot. I only saw it a bit later for some reason. There's also this little robot that you can come to if you want to purchase gear. So you can see here he's selling the Faith set of gear, which is basically the gear that you can find in the Magic Wing. So if you were to go in the Magic Wing to see the vendor, the tier 1 vendor, this is the gear that we would see. So if for some reason you're not sure which vendor you should go to, worst comes to worst, you can go to the little mechanical supply officer and you could get gear from him. But in the Tech Wing, you can go to see our friend Steel. In the Meta Wing, there's Jay Garrick. And in the Magic Wing, there's, I believe it's Aquaman who's selling the gear. So once you reach level 30, You could still go back and play missions from your journal. As you can see, there's a lot of explore missions we didn't do, so you could do those missions. There's the viral video. Go to the Watchtower and check the comp terminal. So let's do that. If I recall correctly, what it does is it starts a little cinematic, and it will give us, I think it's 75 marks of legend.
It's that time again! Thanks for tuning in! Get ready for another round of newbies! I'm your host, the Joker. Let's get to know our legendary contestants. So you knocked him dead, eh? Put that big brainy bottle boy on his big behind, did you? Etc., blah, blah, blah. Well, congratulations. We're all so proud. Aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? I said, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? Harley? Harley! You see? But enough about past exploits. Here today, gone tomorrow, right? That's what they say, right? Take the old stomping grounds, for example. Gotham City and Metropolis. I mean, look at all the little hidey holes you've managed to carve out for yourselves. Oh, so industrious. You must feel all safe and cozy in there. Comfortable, are we? Well, not for long, because it's time to shake things up a bit. You've all become too complacent, too predictable, and that makes you boring. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a bored audience. So get ready, kids, because it's going to be a very, very exciting ride. I mean, these are just the opening jokes, folks. We haven't even gotten to the punchline yet, and when we do, it's going to be a doozy.
So let's go back to our journal. So once we complete the safe house mission, oh, it's actually 85 marks of legend, not 75. So once we complete the safe house unsafe, it gives us 85 marks of legends.
We've got a situation. Someone has compromised the safe house security codes for the police stations and nightclubs. Oracle thinks it's...
So where can you purchase legend characters?
Hello, viewers. Before tonight's show, we had a very special interview with your colleagues. It only took a few hours for them to spill their guts all over my wingtips. But I'm the generous sort, so I'm going to share these security codes. That ought to make things more interesting. It's time to get this show started. You're the next contestant, so come on down, or else.
So where to get the legend characters? I'll show them to you quick. There's two vendors, but I'll show you only the one to the very south of the Watchtower. It's a bit easier to go there. You could go to the war room, but in the war room there's a lot of other vendors. There's a lot of vendors for different styles. So let's go where there's only, and also it's pretty much the only reason we have to come here nowadays, to see our friend Cyborg and Augments. So you can see with 85 marks of legends, there's quite a few characters we could purchase depending on which one we decide to purchase. So we could decide to purchase only one, like only a Bizarro, or if we purchased a few of the less expensive ones like Harley Quinn, Huntress, Nightwing, then we could purchase at least a couple of them. And as you can see, there's some that cost 100 marks of legends. I could have sworn there was, where's the classic Batman? Oh, I must have... This is new 52. Oh, there it is. My favorite has to be the classic Batman. This is where we first had the Batman with the yellow oval. And there is, I don't think we're going to see it here. Anyway, so if you want to have a legend character, this is the place to go. Also, once you reach level 30, that is where you can start using your mainframe. You could do it before that, but usually I wait until level 30 at least, at the very least for the tactical mods, because very often the gear you have before level 30 doesn't have the sockets to be able to put the mods in it. So usually I wait until I get some gear that can actually support some sockets, and then I come to the mainframe. And in this case also, you also have to activate your generator. So, and you can see we're down to 1%, so we're overdue. And the generator basically works for the upgrades here, but the generator also works for the mods. Actually, this is the generator. The generator is also for the mods here. And once we get a whole bunch of other mods, activating all 3 power cells would be useful. And it also helps us controls our armory builds, but with this character I'm going to stick to only 1 armory. I'm not going to purchase an armory with this character. So if we go to our mainframe, and also this is where you can give permission to other players to enter your base if you want to. You can do it either by players, or you can add a league, and every league members of that league will be able to enter your base, move amenities if you decide to. So let's replace our batteries first. And I'm going to replace all 3 because I'm going to purchase all 3 tactical mods over here. So let's purchase tactical mod 1, tactical mod 2, and for the boost, which you could call tactical mode 3 if you like. For the boost, it costs 7 source marks every 60 days. So sadly, this is an upkeep. Every 60 days, we have to pay the boost for our character. And once we do that, if we go to our mainframe, not on all dispenser over here, this is where we can get the tactical mods. So we can get one for the weapon, the helmet, the neck piece, the chest piece, the back, the hands, the legs, and the feet. So let's go to our low mods. So let's start with the weapon. The weapon, it depends. If you play as a DPS, I'd suggest just use blast adapters, although also very often I'd say to use blast adapters anyway. The absorption adapter is kind of nice. It gives you a shield once in a while, but you don't really control when the shield happens, so it's sort of useful. It's useful, but not that useful. The replenishing adapter is to able to get additional power back. Don't really use it. And the restorative adapter is if you play as a healer, it will heal you and 3 other people a small amount of time. So usually by default I'll go with the blast adapter, and then you grab your little mod and you put it in your weapon. So let's go through all the mods quickly. So for this mod, it allows us to either have a supercharge, devastating flip, energize the MP pulse, supercharge, supercharge speed drain, supercharge pheromone, perfect poise, metabolic boost. So a whole bunch of different abilities. Some that are iconic abilities, some that are that have to do with the gadget power. So in this case, right now let's go with the EMP Pulse one, but I will probably replace it in just a bit. So basically whenever I use the EMP Pulse, I'll get 3% of my power back. So let's grab our mod and let's put it in our headpiece. And we can change it anytime we like. I'll show you in just a minute. So here's the mod for the neck piece. Eons ago I would take Fortified Block by default. But now there's a few others like a Guardian Angel that kind of might be worth it. Usually if I play as a controller, I'll take the Replenishing mod, which gives a 5% chance for 60 seconds. Increase your critical power chance by 5% for 6 seconds when you use a group power heal. Here it's kind of nice, like it could give you a little heal if you need to. But I'd be tempted to go with fortified blocking or fortified assault. Oh, let's try the Guardian Angel. Never really tried it before. So let's see what else. Our chest mod. So we could do an additional 2% damage. We could extend our supercharge. Hearty would give us 5% health. Penetrating strikes ignore 2% of defense and toughness. Power efficiency, superpower uses 5% less powers. Quick healing, extra healing received. And this increased our maximum power pool. For a long time I was using reserve tank, but I've been using good power efficiency for a while. Never really did the math, so I'm not really sure if it's truly the best option, but I kind of like it, so I've been using it for some time. For the back piece, accelerated battle display, I don't really use it. Holographic decoy neither. No roll neuralizer, not really. Usually what I go for is breakout protection. I used to go with, I would like to go with breakout regeneration, but in the past too often I thought it wouldn't work. Violent breakout was useful in PvP at some point, not so much anymore. So usually I go for breakout protection. So whenever you break out, you get some extra defense. It's pretty much what it says. And there are some maps where you do break out quite a lot. So again, you put the mod in your back piece. For the hands mod, there's a few options. Power channeling can be good with certain powers, especially if you use things like a heat vision, which can be interrupted, or minigun for the light power, or I forget. I'm trying to find better. So basically, there's quite a few powers that are pretty good, like minigun and light blast, but you can get interrupted by those. But if you use the power channeling, prevents you from that. There's the improved stealth which is kind of neat if you use stealth and invisibility. By default, usually people will go for max damage. It allows 2% extra damage for a short while. Usually I go for regenerative shielding. Whenever I use a shield, it heals me a bit. It's not a big heal, but it adds up. When you use your shield very, very often during a fight, it does help a bit. But in this case, we'll go with max damage. I'll show you to you what it does in just a second. So we'll put that in our gloves. In the legs, I'm not sure what we'll take. Now let's go for a sticky bomb. Although we'll probably tweak my loadout in a bit, but let's go for that for now. And for the feet. For the feet, sadly, there's nothing. Usually I end up going with Deadly Block, but I realize there is Tumbling Master, which can be... let's go for Tumbling Master. Since our character is an acrobat, let's go for Tumbling Master. I usually would go with Deadly Block, but what Tumbling Master does is that when you block, if you use if you double click on your stick, you can do that little move, which can be useful sometimes. So if we look at our mods, we should have every piece of gear modded. So we have our blast adapter, AMP pulse, Guardian Angel, breakout protection, power efficiency, sticky bomb. So whenever we use our sticky bomb, we should get a bit of power back. It's pretty much all what it says. And if for some reason you decide, oh, I took the wrong mod, so you can take as many as you like. I think you can take up to 4, the same mod 4 times, basically 1 for each armory. But I've never tested it myself, so I'm not exactly sure if it's true. But anyway, so basically you could decide to go, oh, I took the wrong mod, so you use one again. You go for blast adapter. So I didn't take the right one, so you take the blast adapter, just overwrite your old one, and there we go. And for the 2% extra damage, basically whenever you use a superpower, you see underneath your name there's a little green star that appeared. Basically that means that when you use a power, then whenever you get that green little star thingy, you're going to do 2% extra damage. It doesn't last all that long. It may last a bit longer in combat. I didn't notice. But basically, if you use a lot of power, a lot of attack using powers like I do, you should pretty much always have that little 2% extra damage. And if somehow you use weapons, or if you use weapon mastery and you decide to go with that little mod, basically what you would do one of your weapon attack mastery or whatever, and then you would use one power, then you would do your attack mastery, then you would use one power, in order to be able to always have that 2% activated. And let's go to our little crafting station. So you can see right now I have a whole bunch of stuff that I could salvage. So let's go and do that. What it's going to do is that it's going to give us a whole bunch of crafting components. I don't have to salvage everything. I could decide to salvage half and sell half for cash. But today we're in a salvaging mood. Let's salvage. There's probably a few I could sell on the broker. Feeling a bit lazy today, so I'm not going to do that. So we'll take a look at what it gave us in just a minute. So basically, they've changed the crafting quite some time ago. You can see here there's some exobytes here that I could improve, enhanced. I'm not sure how to probably say it. And there's a whole bunch that I'm not really using. Like you can see pristine MK2 exobytes. It would cost me some exo material to be able to upgrade it into a flawed MK1 exobytes. I'm not going to do that. Not really worth it. So you can see it goes from MK1 all the way to MK13 right now. And basically it's crafting recipes that you have that you can use if you want to. So basically whenever you get some exobytes, you can try to, or some exobytes, you can try to upgrade them using some exo material. But in this case, not really worth it. Like for example, the MK1 exobyte gives you 74 experience, and if you upgrade it to a pristine MK1 exobyte, then it would give you 89 experience, but it would cost you 1 exo material to do that. So not really worth it. The same with the, again, if you take the solid MK2 exobyte, it gives you 100 experience. If you upgrade it, then it'll give you 120 experience. Not really worth it. So it's something that I'll do, but only at high level. Like I would upgrade an MK13 exobyte, maybe MK12, but MK1, MK2, not really worth it. I was at some point early on when we started using the new crafting system, I would do that for lower level exobytes, but I don't do that anymore. So you saw we got a whole bunch of exobytes. What are they used for? Let's show you. I'm not sure if I did explain it, in case I did not. Basically, we got some new augments. In the past, we would have some mods, some exobyte mods that would put in our gear that would give us extra stats. They replaced that with augments. We have the origin augments, and we have the adaptive augments. The adaptive augments we get from some of the later DLC, like we get some from the Teen Titan DLC, the Atlantis DLC, and the Justice League Dark DLC. But we also have the augments, the origin augments. So we've got some dominating augments, implants, restorating implants. So dominating, I would use that if for a tank maybe. Restorating for a healer, mighty if you're a DPS who uses powers. Precise if you're a DPS who uses weapon, and the vital implant if you play a controller. And if we look in here, so you can see we can upgrade either our artifacts, or we can decide to upgrade our implants. For our exhibits, we can use our exhibits to upgrade either the implants or the artifact. So usually what I do is that I keep the exhibits. I keep the nth metal to upgrade the artifacts, and I keep the exhibits. There should be way down there. And I keep the exobytes to upgrade the augments. It makes it a bit slower to upgrade the augments, but it allows you to upgrade both your artifact and your augments if you need to. So there's a few feats that I wasn't really planning to purchase, but seeing how I'm going to continue a bit with this character. If we go into the general feats, you can see there's various feats for opening various time capsules, and usually those feats gives you a little something. I'm going to purchase the feats, it'll make more sense in just a minute. Let's purchase the Shazam one, why not? And there's also, in the artifact section, I believe there's a few feats we could purchase. Like if for opening 5 Kryptonian time capsule, 10 Kryptonian time capsule, and 15 Kryptonian time capsule. That should give us a few Kryptonian artifacts. And I think we'll take those 3 as well. The Venom Wrist Dispenser, a Lazarus Pit Water artifact, and last but not least, the Demon's Fang artifact. So it did cost us a few replay badges. Sadly, in order to be able to purchase those feet, you must have those feet already on another character. So if you don't have any other characters, if this is your first character, sadly you are not going to be able to purchase those feats. But if it is a character that if this is an alternate character and you already have characters that have those feats, then you can purchase those feats. Basically, some of those feats come from opening Assassin's time capsules and Kryptonian time capsules. So you can see we have one of the artifacts from our friend Rachel Gold is going to send us a few artifacts. I'll talk about them in just a minute. So let's collect them. And we're going to get a few Kryptonian artifacts. The bubble gum comes from the Shazam time capsule. If you open 15 time capsule, you get a bubble gum. I'll show to you what it does in just a minute. And we got a little material, a little aura, and some source marks. It says marks of victory, but basically it's source marks. So let's open that. It's going to give us 5 source marks. So basically the reason why I did this is that if you open 5 Kryptonian time capsule, you get the solar amplifier. If you open 10 Kryptonian time capsule, you get the amulet of Ra. And if you open 15 time capsule, you get the bottled city soda. And here, if you open 15 cursed Gotham time capsule, you get the green Doomsday aura. And the shimmer material comes from the Atlantean time capsule. Again, if you open 15 Atlantean time capsule, you do get the shimmer material. And if you open 15 Shazam time capsule, you get the big bubble gum. But once you get that with one character, then as you saw, you can just use replay badges with another character and get the very same thing. So the green doomed aura, that came from the cursed Gotham time capsule. And once you get the shimmer material with one character, then you can purchase the feat, and then you can get the shimmer material for any other characters on your account. So we got a handful of artifacts. We got the bottle city soda, we got the solar amplifier, we got the venom wrist dispenser, we got the demon's fang, we got the Lazarus Pit Water, and we got the Amulet of Ra. One of the reasons why I wanted those artifacts is the first one, I'm going to use the Bottled City instead of using the standard cola. So basically, as you can see, the Supreme Cola Extreme gives us between 50 and 90% of max power, and between 45 and 80% of max health. I don't really like stuff that is random, so even though here the bottle gives us only 30%, it's a fixed number, you know what to expect, and we can increase that number if we decide to upgrade our artifact. So I'm going to use that instead. Ironically enough, I don't use it with a lot of characters just yet. I'll probably do that eventually. For the solar amplifier, I'm not going to use it with this character, so I will give it to another one of my character. Probably the same with the venom wrist dispenser. The same with the Demon's Fang. Basically, the artifact that I really wanted to have with this character was the Lazarus Pit Water. So let's equip that. And there is also another artifact that I would like to get. But for that, I'm gonna have to go see our friend John Constantine. So let's remove that here. And let's go see our friend Constantine. And also, if for some reason you cannot get those artifacts simply by purchasing the feat, like I just did, I will show you another way that you can get those artifacts. So you can get some of those artifacts from the Quarks vendor. So if you do not have the feat like I do, what you can do is that you can come to the Quarks vendor and you can purchase the Bottle City Soda, the Amulet of Ra, the Solar Amplifier, the Demon's Fang, the Lazarus Pit Water, or the Venom Wrist Dispenser. You can also purchase those from the broker. We'll go to the broker in just a minute. And also you can purchase some artifacts from your friend John Constantine. So let's see what we can do.
Bloody villains. I think Brainiac is doing us all a favor by thinning the herd.
So obviously you can purchase the Catalyst Cache from our friend Constantine, but also you can see you can purchase various artifacts from our friend Constantine as well. The one artifact that I would like to purchase from him right now is the Eye of Gemini. I didn't try this artifact just yet, so we're going to discover together how this artifact actually works. So let's purchase it. And let's equip it. So right now you can see I have a lot of artifacts that I'm going to need to upgrade. We'll do that in just a minute. So as I mentioned, another place where you can get some of those artifacts is over here. So let's see if we can have the bottled... So we have the Bottle City Soda. You can get it right now for roughly 700 cash. 700,000 cash or 1 million depending if you're lucky or not. It's the very same artifact. You can purchase it right here if you want to. You could also purchase, let's try another one, the Amulet of Ra. So you can see right now the Amulet of Ra goes roughly for 1 million. So there are a few artifacts that you can get here from the broker if you want to, but worst comes to worst, as you saw, you can get those artifacts either from your friend John Constantine or you can get them from the Quarks vendor. So the reason why I wanted to purchase those artifacts is because I wanted to show you how to upgrade your artifacts. I'm a bit torn. Which artifact should I upgrade first? Let's go for the Eye of Gemini. Actually, yeah, let's go for the Eye of Gemini. So let's select the artifact, and then we can select a whole bunch of nth metal. I want a bit overkill. So let's put it just enough to be able to reach level 20. Early on, it doesn't take that long, as you saw. So just 3,000 and we're at, we can fortify our artifact. And now we're going to need some Electrum Catalysts to be able to break through. So let's go see our friend Constantine.
Listen, you don't want to be my mate. My mates end up either worm food or worse.
So we have our little Catalyst Cache, so let's use it. And we need some level 20 Catalyst Cache, so let's use it. And again, level 20. And then let's open our level 20. In this case, we don't have any choice. It's give us electron by default. But in the future, once there's multiple catalysts that you can use, then it's going to give you an option between all the catalysts you want. And I always say use your seal of preservation. Even in this case, like right now, the chance of success is 100%. You don't really need to use a seal of preservation, but I would strongly suggest go into the habit of always using a seal of preservation. That way it will avoid you making mistakes later on when you try to upgrade some of your artifacts. So let's break through. Obviously, we had 100% chances of success. And we could probably upgrade it to level 40 already. Let's see if we can do that. So right now our artifact is rank 22, and almost rank 22 is rank 21. So let's see how much we'll need to bring it to rank 40. That was simple enough. So let's fortify it. So again, we're going to need 3 Dionysium and 1 superior Dionysium. So let's get that.
Bollocks. Do I look like your mum? What are you going on about?
There we go. So again, we have our catalyst cache. I purchased all 4 because we're going to need some eventually anyway, so there was no point in just buying 3. So right now we need some level 40 catalyst cache, so we'll need 3 of them. And now that we're done, then we'll need 2 superior Dionysium and 1 Dionysium. So we should have all we need to be able to upgrade our artifact once more. So let's go and do that. Oh, actually we need 2 Dionysium. My bad. So take 2. So we got our 2 Dionysium. For the superior Dionysium, we're going to need it soon enough, so it doesn't matter if we bought an extra one. Worst comes to worst, we could try and sell it on the broker if we really wanted to. We'll see. So again, the chances of success is 95%. I'm very sure that a lot of you would be tempted to just try to break through. I strongly suggest always use a seal of preservation, because you never know. If you don't care about having to purchase some more Dionysium, then yeah, don't use a seal. But if you don't want to lose your catalyst, I would strongly suggest always use a seal. So in this case, we were successful. So we could try and upgrade it some more. Let's do that, why not? Let's see if we can hit rank 60. Well, it's going to be close. So we were able to hit to reach rank 160. Sadly, we do not have Mystic Lightning to be able to upgrade our artifact a bit more. We'll do that probably some other time. Basically, we're going to need 60 source marks in order to be able to purchase all the catalysts we need from our friend Constantine. We could use the broker if we really wanted to. Let's go and give it a look. If we really wanted to, we could use the broker to purchase some. Or actually, we could even use some of our other characters. We could purchase catalyst cache with our other characters. But we're not going to do that just yet. That should do it. So you can see right now roughly the prices for the concentrated Mystic Lightning, for the Mystic Lightning itself, or the superior Mystic Lightning. So obviously we don't really have the cash to be able to purchase those right now, and I wouldn't purchase those. I'll just take the time to gather source marks instead. So now that we've got our new artifacts, we're going to re-imprint our armory, but we are going to, I think we got a skill point. Actually, we got 4 skill points, so let's assign those skill points here. And let's see what else. I'm sad we probably don't. Let's see if there's a trinket we could use. I guess I could use a toy blimp in the meantime. Or the Tombot. Let's use the Tombot. If you're wondering about the Tombot, it's something that was a gift a couple of Christmases ago. And sadly, if you didn't get it back then, I don't think you can get it anymore. Unless if you did get the Tombot as a gift many winters ago, you can still redeem it on your new characters if you want to. Okay, so the first thing we did was upgrade our artifact as much as we could. And I guess we're pretty much done. We pretty much used all the infinite oil we had to be able to do that. The second thing we can do is then we can start upgrading our implants. So right now, as you saw, we're using the vital implant. And I have one that's that I've already upgraded a little bit. So basically, all the MK1, MK2, MK whatever exobyte that we get is going to be used to upgrade our implants. I guess you decide. Either you upgrade one implant as much as you can, or you can decide to upgrade each of your implant slowly but surely. So you can see right now our implant here is level 40. So let's go for this one. So all that those exobytes now are used to be able to increase the strength of your implant, and your implant obviously increases the strength of your character. So again, you can see right now we're at level 40, level 32. So let's upgrade another one, and that's going to be it for upgrading our implants. The reason why I'm upgrading all different implants, I'll show you why in just a second. It's to be able to show you the difference. Like you can see right now, the level 24 implants gives us 7 vitalization, which is not a lot. If we go to level 32 implants, it gives us 8 vitalization. So we upgraded it from 24 to 32, and it barely gave us a few extra stats. Again here, from 32 to 33, not barely any difference in terms of stats. And even if we go up to level 40, it's barely 9 vitalization. So I could show you, I guess, maybe someday I'll show you the implants from my multiverse character. But basically, even when you upgrade your implants at the combat rating 200 and something, it'll give you like maybe 100 and something vitalization. It's not a huge upgrade. It's not as big an upgrade as what the exobyte mods used to give us. But right now, within the context of DC Universe Online, that is one of the ways that you can increase the strength of your character a bit, by having those implants and by upgrading them as much as you can. Right now, I think I'm up to level 230 something with my multiverse character, and I'm nowhere near ready to be able to. I'm nowhere near the max of the implant so far. But the stat increase, it's a pretty small stat increase. So we're going to imprint all the new things that we've just did with our character, all the new skill points, the new artifacts, even the new Tombot that we've added to our character. So sadly for the Sorter Cola, it's only going to give us 30% of our health and power, but it's a fixed number, so there won't be any surprises and there won't be any random element, as often happens. And before we stop, let's show you our little friend the Tombot. So we're going to have the Tombot
I'm the
with
next
us
step in robotic
once in a
pet
while.
development. I do hope Servo finds that slot in your bank comfortable.
So once you've done all those things, you should be ready to be able to start your tier 1 missions. Technically, you didn't have to do all that. You could have started tier 1 missions right away, but I figured why not take the time to do that properly.
No? There's always the broker.
So next time we're going to make a video where we start tier 1 missions, and we'll see how things goes. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below.
I didn't think programming wisecracks would be so difficult.
Aww. So if you have any question, just ask in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Aww, he's gone.